Oh, hello, this is Tak Chung from Walk with Tak. Welcome to my YouTube channel. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and share. Now, one of the main goals of my cooking system is to make home cooking practical, efficient, creative, and fun, and also fast. And this is one of the reasons I call it the fast cooking system. But FAST is also the acronym for flavor chasing, advanced prepping, stir frying, and template-based cooking. Now, when you use my fast cooking system, you can be quite assured that you can cook a meal from scratch in less than 30 minutes using all fresh ingredients. And that makes home cooking feasible in a modern lifestyle. Because from the study that has been done on most Americans, when they were asked the question, how much time would they be willing to spend to prepare a meal from scratch? Most of them would say 30 minutes. Now, that turned out to be very, very difficult, depending on the cooking method that you use. If you use the traditional cooking method, that's almost impossible to cook a meal in such amount of time. Now, with my fast cooking system, that's well within reach because the cooking system is designed with advanced prepping and stir frying. You can actually put a meal on the table in less than 30 minutes for 3 or 4 dishes for a family of 4 people. A lot of time when I explain to other people about this cooking system, quite often they ask the question, how will the food taste? If you cook it fast, if the food doesn't taste good, then I probably will not be interested. And my answer to that question is that the cooking system is built in to make sure that the food tastes good. In fact, in time, through flavor chasing, which is an approach that will continue to improve the flavor of your food, you will soon become your own very best cook. You can cook almost any type of cuisine you want, including Chinese cuisine. And that is very simple with a combination of oyster sauce, Hoisin sauce, and soy sauce. The simplicity of the system will allow you to create any dishes. In fact, not just Chinese cuisine, any type of cuisine that you want, use a set of simple sauces. Oyster sauce and Hoisin sauce is probably 2 of the most well-known sauces that are used in Chinese cooking as well as many East Asian cooking. In fact, quite often you will find these 2 sauces are being sold together, and for good reasons. Also, the popularity of these sauces can be demonstrated. In this case, you can actually buy the sauce in bulk. This is oyster sauce comes in a 5-pound can, and the Hoisin sauce comes in a 5-pound can. This is a good demonstration of the popularity of these sauces and that you use it in many different types of dishes. In fact, in this video, you can learn more about oyster sauce and the versatility of oyster sauce in Chinese and East Asian cookings. I often, in my cooking class, I would demonstrate the application of the use of oyster sauce and Hoisin sauce in create that traditional Chinese/East Asian flavor. Now, I still remember one of my students, I would call her Jackie, and she was so surprised that how these 2 sauces, when you use them in different proportion, you can create a wide variety of dishes that you can say traditionally that come from Chinese and East Asian dishes. Now, these 2 sauces also has many other advantages. In addition to the combining them to create the flavor that you want, you can also vary the ratio. For example, you can use a 2-to-1 ratio. 2 parts of oyster sauce to 1 part of Hoisin sauce will create one kind of flavor. But if you use, say, 5 parts of oyster sauce to 1 part of Hoisin sauce, you will create an entirely different signature for a particular dish. So when you create a dish, you do not have to use a combination. In some dish, you can just use only oyster sauce. In another type of dish, you can use only Hoisin sauce. And then by varying the ratio between these two sauces, it gives you a lot of flexibility and latitude to create different type of dishes. The importance of this is that you can make adjustment very rapidly. And for this reason, I always put my sauces in squeeze bottles because this will allow you to deposit the precise amount that you want. Now, in this case, particularly very convenient is that if I purchase them in a can, it's easier for me to store them in squeeze bottle, and then I will store the rest of them in the refrigerator because they do get moldy if you store them in room temperature. The nice thing about using only these two sauces, at least initially when you do start stir frying exquisitely, you will soon learn the property of them. You will know what they taste like. You will have an idea how much to add to create the flavor that you want. So in this case, you don't really have to measure them. All you have to do is put in an approximate amount because you most likely will vary the amount that you put into the dish. Hoisin sauce, you might put more of it if you want to create a dish with teriyaki flavor. But hoisin sauce by alone is very rarely used on its own because hoisin sauce has a rather sweet flavor. But hoisin sauce is great to use as a dipping sauce, whereas as oyster sauce, usually you rarely use it as a dipping sauce. For example, the vegetable dish with different kind of vegetables, you might find that it requires a different type of ratio in oyster sauce to hoisin sauce. Some vegetable, such as broccoli, you might even want to use an equal part of hoisin sauce and oyster sauce. Whereas in other vegetables that you might want to use only, say, oyster sauce with a very light touch of hoisin sauce. And because of its simplicity, it is very easy for you to experiment with them. And as you cook, you do taste testing. This will guide you and allow you to decide how much you want to put in. And each time when you make those adjustments, you learn more about how these sauces will perform in certain type of dishes. So my recommendation to you is that in the beginning, when you first start to stir frying, you want to be simple. You want everything to be quick, efficient, and practical. Now, it is not practical to have many different seasoning agents. Eventually, you will probably get there once you learn the property of these two sauces, because these two sauces already contain many seasoning agents that you normally will use. And a lot of time what you can do is that you can start out with these two sauces as the foundation, and then you can make adjustment by adding other seasoning agents such as cumin, paprika, ginger powder, onion powder, garlic powder. The list is long, but you can use these two sauces as the foundation, and most of the time you will find it quite satisfactory. And if not, you can always make adjustment accordingly. And after you have more experience, then you can manipulate and use more of other type of seasoning agent that you would like. And most of the time, I do not use soy sauce. Now, soy sauce divided into different kinds. There is a light soy sauce, which has greater umami flavor, and there's a dark soy sauce, which has a more of a smoke flavor. Now, a soy sauce mainly used for you to control the saltiness of the dish, because both oyster sauce and hoisin sauce only contain a small amount of salt. Personally, I prefer my dish to be low in salt. However, if you want the dish to be saltier, one way to make the adjustment is by adding some soy sauce. This Kikkoman soy sauce are frequently referred to as the medium soy sauce because it is somewhat between the light soy sauce and the dark soy sauce. By adding a small amount, you will increase the level of saltiness in your dish. Stir frying is a tremendous opportunity for flavor chasing, because you frequently add the sauce at the end of the cooking process when the food is almost cooked, ready to be served. And by using squeeze bottles to put most of your sauces in, you will be able to deposit those sauces quickly and efficiently. And you can constantly make adjustments after you add different type of sauces to your final cooking process. And the end result will continually help you to through the fast cooking system to achieve the flavor that you love and enjoy. I post a video each day to help you to make home cooking as part of your daily routine. So if you'd like to learn more about my cooking system, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. So keep on cooking. I will see you tomorrow.